I was thinking about some of the reasons that women, any women, but today I want to talk about women over 50, some of the reasons that they think that they maybe have missed out on love, that it's too late for love. Some of the reasons I've heard lately that they've shared with me is the first one, I'm too old. Love is for the young. The second one, I'm too overweight. No one would be attracted to me. I hear this fairly often, or some concern about how they look, what their looks, how disappointed they are in their looks. The third one I just heard a little while ago is I live with one of my parents. This isn't going to work. No one's going to want to date me if I live with my parents at this age. And the fourth one, just as some of these are examples of what I'm hearing, there are no good men left. They're all taken already. Do any of those come to mind for you? Are those any of those reasons that you might be thinking you don't want to try to date, or you just don't believe that love is in the cards for you? I just wanted to look at them a little bit more closely, each of them. That first one, being too old. And, if we look at it with the statistics, women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s are getting married and getting married for love. It's happening. It's just helpful to look into some stories and hear about them. And I'm aware of several of them. And there's even women in articles that I've read recently in their 90s, men and women who are falling in love and getting married in their 90s. And there was a woman and a guy and her husband, I think in South America somewhere. She was 102, he's 104, and they got married. They're crazy about each other. So love has no age limit. So we'll check that off as not being a possibility for why we don't go for love. The second one, maybe you're thinking about you don't like how you look or you want to lose weight. And maybe you've been thinking about losing weight for months or even years, and you haven't done anything about it, or you've tried and it's not working, or you've lost weight and gained weight again. Whatever it is, you don't like your eyes. You think, one woman told me she just doesn't like her elbows. She just really is afraid that people are just looking at her elbows. And I think, she's a dear woman. She's gorgeous. And some of the things that we focus on that other people don't even imagine might be slowing us down. Another activity to do is just look around you and notice all the different shapes and sizes and ages of people, couples who are together, who look like they're enjoying each other. Has nothing to do with size and shape and age, but we can let that stop us. A coach once asked me a long time ago, she said, there are over 7 billion people in the world. Do you think that you're the only one who doesn't get love? That put me into a place of thinking, oh, wow, um, maybe I do. And then got me thinking in a different direction. It is possible. It's possible for me. It's possible for anyone. It's possible for everyone who wants it. And if you're watching this video, you want to meet and be in relationship with someone that you love, you're meant to have love and you will get it. The third one is the concern about living with your parent, living with one of your parents. And I just have a story that's really close to me and to my family. My daughter, who had never been married, she'd been single for many years and decided she wanted to get married. She hadn't thought for sure that she wanted to, but she decided she wanted to. She online dated for a couple years and was learning more and more about what she wanted and who she was looking for, and felt good about that and how courageous she was being and the kinds of things that she was learning. When suddenly her rent went up 50% with 3 weeks notice, that was here in Denver, and there was no way that she could maintain it. So she moved in with me. So she's living with her mom. She's not a spring chicken is what she called it. And she thought that was the end of her dating life. The whole thing had to wait until she could get back into her own place. But she did keep her toes in the water with online dating. And just after a few months, she met a guy that she really enjoyed spending time with. And long story short is they just had their second wedding anniversary. He didn't care where she lived. She felt bad about it, but it didn't matter at all to her because that wasn't what he was looking for. He was looking for her, and he loved her no matter where she lived. And it can happen at any time. The fourth one of the examples that we talked about today of the reasons why people might not be looking for love over 50, there aren't any good men left. They're all taken. And this just reminds me of when I lived in Montana, and one time I bought a Saab, and I hadn't seen many of them around, but I looked at one and read about it and did some research on it. And I thought, this is a great car from Montana. I think I'm going to get one of these. And so I did. And right away, I started thinking, wow, there's a surge in people who have bought Saabs. I'm seeing them everywhere where I didn't used to see them at all. And you've probably had that experience too, that when we have something in mind, then we start to notice them. If all of a sudden we realize we like a certain color, then we start to see it everywhere. If we shift our mindset for good men and think differently, maybe we want to change what we're thinking to. There are many wonderful, amazing, single available men out there. And one of them is looking just for me right now. What would happen if you said that every day and shifted that first reason that we gave, that there aren't any good men left, to there are? Because I've seen evidence of it. I have my most recent client who is 65 and is getting married in 2 weeks. That's what she said. Well, I'm divorced and wow, there's not a lot of good men out there. She started online dating, though she didn't even want to try it. And she just said, none of these guys look interesting to me. And after a few weeks, she said, I don't know if I want to keep this up. And we just continued to talk about it and do our coaching. And within about 3 months, she met this guy, and she said, he's pretty interesting and he's attractive and he's successful and he's kind and he has the same spiritual values that I do. And he's really crazy about me and he treats me so well. So shifting our thoughts, shifting what we're looking for, can shift the outcomes of what we experience. I'd love to hear from you about what you discover over this next week if you choose 1 or 2 or 3 or all 4 of these reasons and just doing some exploring about it. Send me some comments about what you're learning. My email me directly at lindageiger.com, LINDAGEIGER, one word, .com, or go on my website and connect me through my website, lindageiger.com. Enjoy your adventure this week exploring these questions and see what you find out.